Hi, I'm Barry Sahazian. This is two-handed bass tapping. The examples I'm using in this are based on a book I wrote in 1986, which I am selling now, and it still works very well. It has a concept of using two-handed tapping along with trills and all kinds of licks, putting them all together. It's very graduated. I'm going to take it step by step, learning each hand one at a time, and then putting them together with notation, tab, and close-up examples. Here goes the first example. Before I play the next example, I'd like to explain a couple of things about what I'm doing here, and just in case you have any questions. First of all, the notation was done in 1986. There wasn't any notation programs like you have today at all. Nothing. I had to learn calligraphy to do it. So I decided when I started to do this, I was contemplating on how I would notate two-handed tapping. So what I did was I did it like a piano. Bass clef for the left hand and treble clef for the right hand, and I put the tablature in the middle. And when I'm doing individual hands, you'll notice it's every other note, just because I'm playing left hand first and then right hand, so you have to skip a note in between. This next example, 1A, I used the same pattern in the left hand as I did in the previous example. What changes here is I play up a tenth with the right hand. So I'm starting on C from the left hand, and I'm starting on E with the right hand. Right now we're going into example 2. Example 2 is a C major scale going up an octave and down an octave with the left hand, and up and down the octave with the right hand. Then we put them together and alternate each hand for every note. One of the things I must talk about before I go any further is posture. Posture is so important when playing this style. You have to have your fingers going across the neck laterally like this, or else you won't be able to play some of the notes. If you do it like this, you won't be able to play some of the notes with your pinky and your ring finger. So the best idea, I think, is, or the best technique, is to play just like this, sort of a finger for each fret, like a position type thing. You might feel comfortable putting your thumb up here on the top. It's up to you. And how you hold the neck is another important thing. You might have to pitch it up like this, and the posture will be different if you're playing down here or up here. And these are all considerations to take if you want to get your best tone and be able to play all the notes that are available. Let's take a look at the C scale going up an octave with the right hand. Now we descend. Okay, we hit all the notes nice and square, even, and time even. Now, let's go for the left hand. Now, the left hand is sort of easy. It's right in position. It's kind of the usual posture you would have if you were playing with your fingers. So it isn't much of a stretch. Now, that went okay, the way I showed you how to do it, but it may not be the best way to do it when you're in another key. Now, if you were in the key of A, for instance, you notice I have to change. I have to change the position of my body, my hands, and even maybe lift the neck up a little bit to make it possible to play. So I'm over here now, and I want to make sure that my fingers are perpendicular with the neck. That gives me the greatest advantage to play. Right now I'd like to cover a little shredding. The way I see it, there's a couple of different ways, basic ways of shredding, and that would be one, using the open note, something like this, and then there's one using closed notes, and then you can combine them both too, of course. So I'm going to show you a couple of simple examples of each and explain them and give you notation and tab. Okay, I'm going to start with a closed shape, a C triad. And let's look at that. We have a C on the 17th fret of the G string. We have an E, which is the 3rd on the 9th fret of the G string. And we have a G on the 12th fret of the G string. And that gives us the 1, 3, 5, gives us a triad, and it goes a little like this. Right now I'd like to show you a shortcut to use if you wanted to move that shape around the neck, because when you look at it, this is okay. That's what we have so far. But how do you find that shape in other parts of the neck? You could kind of visualize it or find your own way, but I'm going to give you a shortcut that works famously. First, find the root of the chord you want to play. And in this case it was a C, but that's too easy because you already know that shape, hopefully. And so let's take, let's go for maybe a, let's go for an E flat. So you have your E flat here, right? And you move down 5 positions, and it will give you that second position. I'll show you what I mean. That's an E flat, 1, and you calculate it from your baby finger just to make things easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then your second shape is right in position here, and you have your okay, you just found your E flat. Calculating using spaces between the shapes. Let's try another one. Let's go for an F sharp, and the F sharp would be on the 16th fret of the D string. So you know where your root is. Now we have to find the other part of the shape. So once again, you calculate from your baby finger and sort of think about this is a shape, and this is another shape, second shape, third shape, fourth shape, fifth shape. Okay, there you have it. We're able to find it anywhere on the neck quite simply. Now a C minor 7th, and you have the same position, 17th fret on the C, 12th fret on the G, and now we have an E flat here, which would be the minor 3rd. And there's a little bit of a stretch here going from here to here, but that's okay. It's well worth the investment in practice, I think. Now let's look at the shortcut for the minor triad. So once again, we're going to do it in C, and we start with our root. Once again, you go down 5 positions with the baby finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you have your 5th. So you have your root and your 5th. Now we need a minor 3rd, but the problem, a minor 3rd is 1 fret further down. So you're playing in position, but 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4th fret in the position descending is lower by 1 fret. So it looks like this. There's a little bit more of a stretch, but It's always nice to be able to stretch a little further going up and down the neck. It opens up many possibilities. Let's try it in another key, an A minor. So we have the A on the 14th fret of the G string. We're going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we get the 5th. That works out good, except you have to stretch down further with your index finger, 1 fret further, to get your minor 3rd. And here it is. The lower you get, of course, the larger the stretch gets, and it becomes more difficult. Kind of best off going up the neck if you want to do something like that. And I suppose we'd have to start the A right here. And then we would do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then stretch over to get that minor 3rd. It's a lot easier than playing it down there. Next we have the major 7th, and that would be right here. You'd play the B instead of a C, the major 7. You're not really going to play the root here, so it could actually be an E minor too if you look at it another way theoretically, but we'll call it a C major 7th. So that would be 16th fret on the G string, pull off to the 9th fret on the G string, which would be E the 3rd, and hammer back on the 5th. So that's a C major 7. Then we try another one, and we try a C 7th, which is the flat 7, which would be the B flat on the right hand, and that will be the 15th fret on the G string, pull off to the E and to the G. And this doesn't have the root as well because we're starting from the 7th to pull off to the 3rd and then the 5th. So this could also be looked at as an E minor flat 5, but we want to look at it as a C 7th, and I'll show you why in a second. Now let's put these 3 chords together and make it sort of like a common progression to have some fun. This is another common progression, a simple C major triad to a C minor triad. Check it out. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of all the videos yet to come, and buy my book, Bass Tapping. I have it on my website. I'll give you a link in the description below, and thank you for stopping by. Hope to see you again.